Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So, I like to talk about how to be happy, how to live a productive, happy life. I'm always preaching a mind, body, and soul program. And when I identify areas that make people upset, that could be a cause of anxiety or depression, I like to talk about it and flesh it out. So, let's talk about politics. A lot of people who follow politics too much can become unhappy. I encourage you to look up this topic. Go into Google when you have some spare time if you're interested, and just simply ask Google, does politics make you happy? You'll see plenty of articles that come up on the topic written by all kinds of sources, left and right, center, from all kinds of sources. This is a well discussed topic. Every article that you're going to find, every one of them, will tell you the same thing. Politics makes you miserable. I was talking with a friend of mine who lives a great life. He's got a big house with his wife, a giant house. They are very successful in many different areas of business. They travel the world constantly just for fun. They live a great life. They live a life that most people would dream of. I mean, everybody's got problems, but their problems have been whittled down to small things. Rich people problems. I was talking to him the other day and I was like, hey, how you doing? And he said, man, I'm just really upset. And he was telling me about how down he was. So I was like, well, what's going on? You know, I'm a great person to talk to when it comes to this kind of stuff. I've been depressed for years and I know how to get out of it. And what he told me was the state of the world was bringing him down. It made me laugh. I wasn't trying to laugh at him, but I was like, the state of what world? Of your world? Or of just the world in general? I mean, we have a big planet with a lot of people, and there's always going to be people in Africa starving. There's always going to be third world countries in South America. There's always going to be trash and overpopulation in India. There's always going to be gangs shooting at each other in New York or LA or Chicago. That's always going to happen till the end of time. Nobody will ever solve it, ever. So what is it that's got you down? And he's like, well, you know, this is the state of the nation, and he's going on with this partisan politics. That's what it is. Your partisan beliefs will get you wrapped up in a world of depression, misery. You know, partly because it's stuff that's out of your control. I suggest to focus on what you can control. Individuality is a beautiful gift. If each person can focus on their individual lives in a way to make your life better, to make yourself a happier person, to become stronger to the point to where you can start giving back to others, then your little bubble, your little immediate neighborhood becomes better. Your world becomes better. Your worldview becomes better. I'm not talking about becoming naive. I'm not talking about putting your head in the sand like an ostrich and just ignoring what's going on around you. But you don't need to be up on the soap opera, the daily ups and downs, the campaign season. And we're in a perpetual campaign season now. It used to just be 2 years 2 years away from an election. They would start campaign seasoning, for whether it be your local state representatives or senators or congress people or the president. So you might have been able to get 2 years off. Now it's all the time, 24/7. And that's all the news is. Name your source. What source do you like? You trust Fox News the best? All Fox News does is campaign for a Republican Party. That's all they do. That's all it is. You like MSNBC, you're a big liberal, you love MSNBC, you like Rachel Maddow. The only thing that network does is campaign for Democrats. That's all they do. Nothing more. They're not trying to bring you the daily news. They're not trying to just tell you what's going on. That is not what it is. They are cherry picking stories in order to pull at your heartstrings, in order to be able to get you to vote in a certain way. That is all that's going on, and you need to recognize that. Doesn't matter if it's CNN, doesn't matter if it's New York Times, Wall Street Journal, it does not matter. It's all the same. They all have an agenda. An agenda set out by mega global corporations trying to manipulate their viewers or their readers, the American public, into voting one way or another. What it does when you follow partisan politics too much is it turns you into this us against them mentality. That is such a vile place to be. When you're in this us against them mentality, you are perpetuating the divisions of America. You're perpetuating the divisions that exist within society. You're looking through this filter as them, and then there's us. And it's all that people do these days with politics. I talk to people about politics here and there, and all they want is to be reaffirmed. We're not trying to learn any lessons. Nobody's trying to learn about anything. All they want is to be reaffirmed in the beliefs that they already have. So they can sit there and say, screw those people. Liberals are the most disgusting people. Socialism, goddamn those people. And the left does the same thing to Republicans. What's wrong with America is republicanism, conservatism. That's what's wrong with America. They destroy this country. And they just want you to reaffirm this shit. They're not trying to learn anything. Nobody really cares about the daily news. How many people have died in your city today? You don't know, and nor do you care. Because they don't affect you. You don't know them. They're not your friends. They're not your family. But people have this desperate passion fueled by anger and hatred, frustration, outrage, fear, for stuff that has no effect on them at all. Oh, let's talk about the Uyghurs in China. It's so horrible what they do. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You don't live there. You don't know any of them. You really care about oppressed people. You're just so compassionate. You really care. I just really care about those people. Bullshit. Because I could drive you to a neighborhood within your town and show you oppression. And all you're going to do is roll your eyes. Pass the buck. Stop playing yourself for a goddamn fool. Stop being the cause of your own anxiety, of your own anger, of your own outrage, of your own depression. Like my buddy lives this great life, a life that people dream of. He's got a beautiful wife, great cars, great house with an amazing view of the woods. They're traveling to this place and that, places that, staying in great hotels. They live a great life. They're both educated. They both have a lot of things going for them in a lot of different ways. They're healthy. And when you ask him, how's it going? All he wants to do is sink his head, become weak, and say the state of the nation has got me upset. Our country is just like he's doing his patriotic duty by being so upset. You want to help this country? Help yourself. Act locally. Get involved with helping people around you. If everybody did this, not just my buddy, but everybody in his neighborhood, everybody in your neighborhood, everybody in mine, if we all worked on ourselves to a point where we become strong enough to be able to help people around us, help 5 people, and if 5 people help other 5 people, you get the game we're playing here, it gets exponentially. All of a sudden, everybody in town is helping 5 people. I live in a town with 80,000 people in it. If every one of those 80,000 people was willing to help themselves to the point where they could help 5 people, what's 80,000 times 5? People aren't doing that kind of shit. I believe that that's the way to make a better society, is locally. Each person can help another person. And give up on this game of partisan politics. Take a break from it. If it's making you upset, The daily news, the stories that you heard today make you shake your fist, make you want to go run and hide in the closet with your guns, make you afraid, make you want to run up to the store and buy a bug out bag and a bunch of supplies just in case society falls. I mean, you're a goddamn sheep. You're an idiot. Really, it's a sign of stupidity. Try taking a break from the news. Whatever the source is, online. Most people get their news online nowadays. Take a break from those websites. Just take a break from it for a week, just as an experiment. See what happens. 1 week. Just cold turkey. Don't even pay attention to a single news story. See what happens. Will your life tumble and spiral into chaos because you didn't hear about the shooting that happened across town? The shooting in Times Square, all the murders in Chicago, because you didn't know this weekend's death toll in a city that's 1,000 miles away from you, that's really going to affect your life? The bullshit political gaffe that some idiot politician said on Twitter and they're in trouble for, is that really going to affect your life if you miss out on that? Just try it. I guarantee it'll make you happier. Once you can figure out a way to separate yourself from the politics that we are bombarded with so much, you can take more control over your own life. You're being controlled. This is why a lot of websites and stations and newspapers, it's why they exist. The media, for a large part, is a political arm of the government. And they all have an agenda. Vote this way or vote that way. They're all trying to play Pied Piper to draw you in towards their camp. If you become overly focused on that shit, in one camp or the other, you become too wrapped up in that game of politics, playing their game. You become a sheep. You become a mindless drone, an agent for the system. Be more individualistic. Think about more fun things. Fill your life with more fun shit instead of sitting around. Here's a guy that I know that's sitting in a fucking mansion, looking out into the woods, stressed on shit that's thousands of miles away, hundreds of miles away. There could be beautiful little birds landing in those trees right in front of him, and he's not even seeing them. He's sitting there angry about the other side. Those goddamn people. They're ruining this country. Take a break from that shit for a while. It'll make you happier. It's a proven fact. Thanks for watching.